So I decided to see if I could grow a lot of the plants this season from seeds. And I've got seeds that I saved from last year. Hi! And also seeds that I ordered online. I saved some native pollinator plant seeds from plants that I had last year, and then I ordered quite a few from Prairie Nursery online. All of their seeds are Neonicotinoid free, so I'm pretty happy about that. And then the veggies are coming along. I've got squash that I think I started a little bit early, but whatever. This is some curry squash from seeds that I saved last year. I've never grown it before, but I love curry squash, so I thought I'd try that. And then I've got some cucumber sprouts, tomato sprouts, some acorn and butternut coming up. And over here, I've got some yarrow, some chamomile, got some peppermint sprouts coming up, some pennyroyal, and then as the sprouts get large in the cups, I'll transplant them to larger containers. So I've got more tomatoes because I can never have too many tomatoes. Nasturtium, which I'm excited about because it's beautiful and edible. And there's some wild lupine that actually sprouted from seeds that I ordered this year. I'm very excited about putting those into the pollinator garden. And then these are a lot of the seeds that required cold stratification and have longer germination time. So I just keep my eye on these. Check them every day. And of course some rosemary. These are two pots that I had dropped some pollinator plant seeds that I think I got through the mail from like the Sierra Club, I think. I got them in the end of summer last year, so I just put them in a couple of pots and had some come up, and then I just sort of left them. And I've got more coming back. So I'll start to separate those out once I can identify them and figure out what to do with those. I love the way this looks with all of these different flowering plants. It reminds me a lot of yards that I had in Texas, with the exception of none of these are actually native to Pennsylvania. So I'm going to try to replace a lot of these non-native flowering plants with natives. For now though, I'm just going to leave them controlled. I'm not going to let them go crazy here, but early pollinators visit these plants. So I'd like to leave them until I actually start establishing the native flowering ground covers. So this is the grape hyacinth. This is not a true hyacinth, although that's not a native plant either. The grape hyacinth is also known as muscari. These are beautiful wildflowers. I don't have a problem with them. They're not hard for me to control, so I don't mind having them bloom. And they are kind of blooming everywhere. But I'm okay with that because they're beautiful. This is dead nettle, which is a fairly common plant that people find. time. This is actually a member of the mint family. So if you check the stems on these guys, you'll see that they're square. This is ground ivy, or creeping Charlie, a lot of people call this, because it creeps everywhere. This one's actually kind of a pain to manage. I'll be pulling this quite a bit over the next few weeks. So I'm about to start weeding the veggie garden bed, and here we've got some common mallow growing. It's another very common plant that pops up, Malva neglecta. Oh, hi. Do you mind? Thanks. This one's got pretty decent taproot. So when you're digging these up, you want to make sure you dig down pretty deep to pull the entire root up. I've got this one plant that's been growing for the past few weeks. I haven't seen it before. It's the only one I have here. And at first, I wasn't sure what it was because the inflorescence resembles quite a few other plants. But I think that this is a shepherd's purse. I'm waiting for the seed pods to develop a little bit more, which I think is what those are. So I've got patches of bittercress everywhere. Pretty sure this is the hairy bittercress, the Cardamine hirsuta. Although I'm having kind of a tough time distinguishing between the native bittercress and this species. And then of course we've got dandelion, and I don't pull those unless they get into the garden areas, but pollinators love dandelions. So here we've got Persian speedwell. This is a little ground cover, also not native. It's got tiny little blue flowers that start to close up later in the day. You can see right now. This plant has shallow roots and is easy to control, so I don't mind having it grow just along the walkway here. It's not in the garden, it's not hurting anything, and it's pretty. And I saw a sweat bee on these flowers last week. There's a healthy patch of ground cover plant that looks like strawberry. This is actually mock or false strawberry or Indian strawberry. This is another non-native plant, and this can be distinguished from the native strawberry plants by the flowers. They're yellow. The native strawberry plants in this region have flowers that are usually white, sometimes light pink. This is another plant that's popping up in different places around the property. Pretty sure this is broadleaf dock. Somebody else suggested that it might be a yellow dock, but I think that yellow dock might have a curlier margin, more wavy edges, and maybe a more narrow leaf. So it's either broadleaf dock or yellow dock. Hey! It's not a toy. Also an edible plant. Apparently quite delicious. I haven't tasted this one yet.